As women in architecture, we find ourselves in a very unique position. Many times you find that we need to raise families, we need to run our architectural practices, but at the same time, we need to remain in tune with the latest developments in architecture. For many institutes, you find that there's continuous professional development, but at times you find that we need to take on either postgraduate education or different certificates. To assist us in our various challenges, I caught up with architect George Lubega just to find out what are the alternative ways in which women in architecture can remain ahead of the game in terms of training, both as a continent and remaining in tune internationally. Welcome, George.
Given that kind of background, we have the route of education. Some people have a degree and a master's, but we know that a master's and a degree and a PhD are limited in only just one area. You can't have PhDs in everything to cover all the areas that you need. You can't have masters in everything to cover everything that you need. You can't have degrees in everything to cover everything you need. That's what brings us to the certifications. The certifications are a shortcut to the knowledge. I may not have a PhD in project management, but if I have a PMI, project management, a PMP certification, it covers all the necessary areas of not well certified. You can call on a member who is well certified to introduce that certification in their construction built environment. If someone is not LEED certified, they might find someone who is not well certified. You can call on a member who is well certified to introduce that certification in their construction built environment. If someone is not LEED certified, they might find someone who is. If someone doesn't have program management and is managing, a very large construction project, which is, more than $1 billion, then they can get someone who has program management to give them some ideas on how we go about that. These certifications are key to upgrading quickly without necessarily going to a school, without having to have a PhD. Like I said, you might have a PhD is going to take you 4 or 5 years. And then you might not be able to do it for all the fields that you need. But the certifications are a quick way to have the basics environment. You are going to find a lot of recognition because there is project management, but that's limited. Like PMP in London is program management. That's for many projects. Because for project management, that knowledge is not going to work on program management. It's so limited. It won't manage. It's so particular. There is program that deals with larger numbers of projects and contracts that are very large amounts. And then after that, there is portfolio management, managing things that are very disparate, very different. That is maybe industries, then maybe construction, then maybe governance, then maybe institutions, and that's portfolio management. But if someone has a certification in that, he's going to be able to, then maybe governance, then maybe institutions, and that's portfolio management. But if someone has a certification in that, he's going to be able to help a member what it brings and how it helps about. So certifications are criteria of excellence. For example, I don't have a master's in neighborhood design or urban planning, but LEED certification for neighborhood design opened up my eyes to a lot of things they consider, but I didn't know about those things. To smart buildings, I realized that for all smart neighborhoods, I needed LEED for neighborhood design because that's so part of the smartness.
Thank you, George. And we're going to catch up with you on our next series so you can tell us more about how we begin to implement training in our lives as professional women in architecture. Now is our time as women in architecture in Africa to ensure that we leave this continent developed. See you next time on Innovative African Women Architects.